do you see that we're going to be moving people out as soon as the airspace opens out? Are we going to be rescuing people, evacuating the students who were there? We've got students still in Iran. We've got millions in all the Gulf countries, tourists who have gone there, who have got stuck there, sportsmen.
You have family, I have family there.
I have
of course.
family
Yes.
stuck out there. So
Yeah.
those kind of things, do we see that happening? And do you now see this impact on the economy too? Because the stock market has closed down. For 2 days in the UAE, they shut it down. Do you see now the repercussions in India too?
Well, so some repercussions, of course, we will see. And I think the first and foremost to everybody's mind is the price of oil, right? And everybody was thinking that with all this pressure and with Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz, as we were just discussing, the pressure on oil will be evident. And then, the prices would skyrocket. It would go beyond $100, etc., per barrel. But today when the markets opened, we saw that it was not like that. It had many reasons. Okay. Also, the OPEC countries have said that they will increase production, stuff like that. I think the Americans have also factored this in, right? And like I said, that is why this really bad phase of bombing them left, right, and center with all their advanced capabilities that the US has. For example, they've used their F-16, F-22s, everything, the EWs, the new weapons, new laser energy weapons are being used, etc. I think this can go on for about 4-5 days, after which you will see a change in the pattern, okay? And the idea is that by then they would degrade the Iranian eyes and ears to such an extent that after that it'll become easier. The next phase would be easier. But this is still a hypothesis, right? Things may not work out like that. As far as India evacuating, it does make sense for India to evacuate its students from Iran. I think it would make sense for India to do that. From the rest of the countries, I don't think so, because come to think of it, can you really evacuate 4 million Indians? You can't, right? You're talking about 18,000, 15,000, 20,000. That's still a number that is doable.
Remittances?
That's another thing, right? So I don't think that is going to happen. But let's just also sort of accept with humility that we are still talking about manageable scenarios, right? Okay. These are all scenarios to my mind that are quite manageable, right? When I speak, one intelligent thing that like for example what the Emiratis have done, because I told you, like we have family there and all that. So they have completely controlled all the information around the war, this and that, because they don't want the people to panic. Right? So they've said that, okay, you go back to work, they have not started the airspace. I mean, the airports are not running. Sure. But as far as regular work is concerned, so they say you start your work, try to lead a normal life. If you hear an air siren, take shelter, etc. To try to normalize it as much as possible.
And no panic grocery stocking.
No panic, because, in today's day and age, the things appear so much more different and sometimes so much more complicated if you were to really take what comes on social media on face value. So they have done that very intelligently, frankly. But like I said, that, with all of this, I have to be very humble and say that this is still a best case scenario. So as far as India taking sides is concerned, yes, India has sort of condemned all the violation of sovereignty of all these nations, because it is absurd. It is absolutely absurd. I can't find a single justification for why Iran would do that. And like I said, that it can only happen when you really see that they are pushed to the wall and they are now in some kind of a panic mode, that they have to do maximum damage. Okay, so they are in that mode, ki marenge aur kitne ko maar ke marenge. In fact, there's something very interesting that helps you understand the psychology of the Iranian people, Smita, which is that Iran is one country that negotiates with a gun held to its own head. So
why does it sound familiar?
Yes, to us it sounds familiar. So but yes, it just complicates the matter so much more. So I think I would say, to my mind, I think it is definitely very clear that India has more strategic, economic, all kinds of interest, connectivity, energy, everything, right? Remittances with the other Gulf players. But having said that, it doesn't make India to really get embroiled into all this. I don't think anybody in India is going to, even sort of entertain the idea of getting embroiled into it, okay, in any way. Because, getting embroiled also comes with many more complications. I mean, even with respect to how to manage Iran, right? There are differences among the Gulf countries. There is a difference between how Israel approaches and how UAE approaches it, etc. So it doesn't make. I think what we can do, and that's another very useful thing that I have always abided by. It has also helped me a lot in my own career, which is that there are two factors, and especially in today's world order, which is so difficult to understand. One is, of course, the complexity of it, and the other is the unpredictability of it. Okay, with somebody like Donald Trump, with somebody like all these wars, here and there, it definitely is very difficult to predict, right? Nobody can. I mean, we've made so many predictions and predictions go wrong.
Yeah.
But what you can do is that you can lessen the complexity. So you can demystify situations. Okay, even if you don't sort of reduce the other predictability part per se. So I think even if we are able to have like an educated discussion, right, a well-informed discussion, what I call a bottom-up discussion, right? I mean, where are things on the ground? Okay, how is it impacting? Don't think of it as a monolith, right? Don't take things on face value. Understand how IRGC has been put together. Why comparing it with 2003 Iraq or 2011 Libya or 2025 Syria is a wrong example. Okay, it is not about projection of air power. It's about how that entire beast of that institution has come around.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा.
The issue is, टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है.
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब.
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप.
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI. It does not lie.